Thank you. We're now looking at our sixth training video within this module of ministering through temple and family history work. And we're going to be looking at temple instruction. Now, you've seen this slide many times before where we talked about how the ward council is like a rowing boat. And they're using these oars, which are very much the structured courses that the church has to help members press forward by enabling them to gain access to both temple and spiritual blessings. And you as a ward leader are the coxswain who steers the boat and ensures that there is one coordinated effort. And there is a solution to every challenge. Now, I've only shown 4 here, but there are others, whether it be institute classes, whether it be the hope and healing and gathering meetings. There's something there. So I'm going to look here in terms of what I call temple ministry. And that involves a coordinated effort by ward leaders, temple instructors, and temple and family history consultants. Now, the temple instructors, they work with the ward leaders, and particularly the bishopric, the elders' quorum, Relief Society presidency, and ministering companionships, to help members work towards holding a current temple recommend. Now, part of that would be is if they're new endowees, they would attend the temple preparation seminar classes. Now, it may be that there's someone who's returning to church, and inactive members that were once endowed, and they need to do a refresher course. Sometimes even those who do hold a current temple recommend would value by attending a refresher course, by doing that course again, because it's found that those that sometimes hold the current temple recommend and been attending it for years have questions, and it's important for them to understand those questions can be answered, but it's asking the appropriate person. Now that can be done, as we will show you, either through the church website, either through the temple preparation seminar, or speaking with the stake president or bishop during their temple recommend interview. The temple instructors, as well as working with ward leaders, can also work with the temple and family history consultants. And this is the part of being for help them to find a name and build their family tree, about finding out some of the documents, the stories, the photographs of their ancestors, so that they can then connect with them. We also see that ward leaders and the temple and family history consultants should also be working with other programs that are there. For example, Self-Reliance, Hope and Healing, BYU Pathway Connect. All of these programs are all interconnected. Don't think of them as separate. Do see that sometimes in Hope and Healing, that members that are involved there, a good part for them to be involved within is in indexing, particularly those that may have a pornography problem. Rather than being obsessed with pornography sites, they can spend their time a lot more wisely and spiritually by doing indexing. You can find those that do Pathway Connect. They can also gain that spirituality and strength by doing family history or be involved in web indexing. The temple ministry covers each of those areas, and it's important that it's all one coordinated effort. Temple ministry does include temple instruction, and that's what we're focusing upon in this video. And now if we go to the church website, You'll see under there and in the Gospel Library under Temple and Family History, it's got temple preparation, temple ordinances, and families and temple. I invite you to look at those three. Now remember, temple preparation may also include those that are returning. We also include those that have questions about the temple. There is a book about preparing to enter the temple. Each member who's preparing to go to the temple or who is already an endowed member should have a copy of this booklet and read it and study it. There is also a course called from Endowed from On High, which is a temple preparation seminar. All those that are new endowees go through this course. But you may consider, as well as the Ward Council, to hold a refresher course for any members who want to go and attend it again. Because many times we have questions not before we go to the temple, but after we've been to the temple. That's when people have their questions. And I do encourage all bishops to make sure that there is after a new endowee has entered the temple, that they have a post temple interview with them as soon as possible, because that's when they're going to have their questions, and sometimes they don't know who to ask. And of course, they need to ask the appropriate person, which should start with their bishop. Now, we've also developed here within the stake this book here, which is teaching resources for those who are called to be temple instructors. The ward doesn't have a temple instructor, then the stake will provide temple instructors for the ward that new endowees can attend. But we do encourage that there is someone within the ward and that they can be trained by the stake. Now, there is a manual there which you can download, and it looks at the responsibilities there in ministering, temple instruction, the temple escort, and about teaching in the home. It's an important part that within the Elders Quorum and Relief Society that we learn how to teach the temple covenants in the home. Also talks about various Latter-day Saint related resources and also teachings by modern prophets. So we do encourage you to download a copy of this. Of course, it doesn't replace it, but it is a resource for you there, so that it will assist the temple instructors. One of the things that's important within the Ward Council is that we teach temple and family history, either in sacrament talks, priesthood and relief society class, and in family home evening. Members need to better understand the doctrine of the redemption of the dead. Their temple covenants. We need to teach them their temple covenants, the promised blessings of participating in temple service, and the proven benefits of family history activities and how to do it. It is my suggestion, and it's said within Doctrine and Covenants 107, where it talks about to teach them their covenants. We need to, with both within our sacrament talks and our priesthood and relief society class and in the family, that whenever we teach a gospel principle, that we tie it to a covenant. Right? We're not just teaching a gospel principle or some virtue, or a living principle, but we're teaching them that this is part of the covenants that they have made in the waters of baptism, their priesthood covenants, and in their temple covenants. So